Today I'm out here in our garden, and I want to show you a little bit about our no-till system and the results we're getting on it. So right now I actually have not weeded at all this area of the plot this whole year, and I've had crops growing here for about 2 months now, these broccolis and cabbages and Brussels sprouts, and I have not weeded it at all. But today I'm going to go through for the first time, as there's just random weeds coming up that definitely need pulled. I want to get them out of here before they go to seed. And I want to talk a little bit about this area and how the crops are doing in the no-till system. So this plot here, see, last year was the first year growing in it, and I had not tilled it. All I did was put mulch or compost on top of the soil and planted into it. And I even grew some cabbages and broccoli in this area last year. And so it's kind of interesting to see from year 1 to 2 how they do. And in year 1, I would say most of the broccoli plants were looking like this one here. Now this one even looks healthier than the one last year. This one, we had a really cold spell in May that kind of nipped some of the plants and kind of pushed some of them back. So the smaller ones aren't necessarily small because of the soil not being good. It's more because of the damage they suffered back in May. Now some of them did fine in the cold. So you can see this one here looks beautiful. Actually, that one's too. So like this one here, I mean, the leaves are, you can tell it's not suffering at all. The leaves are nice and green. And so this is year 2, and I am very pleased with how the crops are doing. Now they're not to where I would necessarily want them to be yet, but for the second year growing, I would say they are very how would you say? I would say I'm very pleased with the results that I'm getting. Now, year 3 and 4, I'm expecting even better results. But yeah, the crops are not really suffering at all. I mean, the older leaves are maybe yellowing a little bit, but those don't really do anything for the plant anyways. So let's go over here to a new section that I just built this year, and I can show you how the crops in the first year of a no-till system, not always, it kind of depends on your compost that you're using, how thick you put it on, but you can see a little bit here. I do beans. In the first year of a no-till system, I do a lot of beans because beans tend to do well in anything. But even these, you can tell they're not, I mean, they're green, but they're not dark green like they should be. You can tell they're suffering a little bit for nitrogen, but they will still come out of this and give us a harvest that'll be fine for the first year. I mean, it's not going to be superb by any means, but it'll be definitely a harvest that's worthwhile growing in the first year of a no-till system. And these beans here, actually, this is the first year for this bed too, and these beans are actually a little greener. So I'm not sure that was planted first, and it may have been because the soil was cooler. And so the nutrients in the soil aren't available as much when the temperature is cooler. So these were planted a little later, soil is warmer, and there might be more nutrients ready for the plants when they sprouted. So yeah, this year is the first year for this plot, and I don't expect great results. Now I'll do mainly beans, and I'll do some lettuce. Lettuce seemed to do all right in the first year of a no-till system, and corn. I actually tried corn last year in the plot where I showed you where the broccoli was, and it actually did just fine. The heads were a little smaller, but they still weren't bad. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about our no-till system and the results that we're getting out of it. These are some carrots. They're looking good. This is in the section of the garden that I started last year. So this is the second year for the carrots, and they're doing really well. So, and if you haven't heard of Charles Dowding, check him out, because he talks a lot about the no-till system. And he's kind of who I'm following as far as in the methods that I'm using or trying to use. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing a little bit about what's growing in the garden right now. And until next time, eat well, live well.